Hi, I'm Mike Lavoie. I am a realtor here in the Tampa Bay area with Dalton Wade Real Estate. I am out today at the Big Apple Bagel Shop.
That's it.
Out here in Wesley Chapel. Not really Wesley Chapel, I guess it's more Land O'Lakes than Wesley Chapel. I'm out here with Bob Hoffman. He is a mortgage loan officer with Reverse Mortgage Funding. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me out here.
You are very welcome. Thanks for being here. Got a little bit of wind. We're recording outside.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful day here in Florida.
Oh.
I mean, geez.
Another miserable day in Florida.
I know that we are here December, the middle of December, sweating. I pushed a bunch of snow. No, actually, I didn't push any snow today.
No, neither did I.
I like it.
I love it.
Bob, tell me how and why did you get into reverse mortgage funding?
Well, you know, Mike, it's funny that we're here this morning because almost 5 years ago, my wife and I were relocating here to the Tampa area, like so many other people in our age, to be close to our children and grandchildren. And didn't know what I was going to do or where I was going to live. And I came here to the Big Apple one morning for a bagel.
Okay.
And I read an ad in the Coffee News that said, use a reverse mortgage to purchase your home. And I had never heard of such a thing. And I called the guy, and he briefly explained how easy it was going to be. And I said, no. My daddy always told me if something looked too good to be true, probably was, right?
Exactly.
So I looked into it a little further, and, you know, he was telling me the truth. Within 6 weeks, I was living in a beautiful home and had bought it by means of a reverse mortgage, and then decided I liked it so much I wanted to do it for a living.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
And it's going well.
It is going well, yes.
Good for you. So what are the requirements to get a reverse mortgage to buy a house?
Well, a couple of the key things. You have to be at least 60 years old.
Okay.
Has to be against your primary residence. And when you're buying a home, you're going to need roughly 50% down. And we get you the other 50%, and you don't make a payment.
What value of home can be considered to be in the thing?
Oh, the range is endless, Mike. We can go from a $50,000 house all the way up to, right now I'm dealing with a client with a $5 million house. So it's endless what we can do today.
Give me some examples how somebody could use this program.
Well, you could do what I did, Mike, and that was we came here with the proceeds from selling our home from where we were coming from in Jacksonville. And I basically put those funds down and got the other half to purchase a home. Now, you can do this that way. You could be in a situation where, let's say you have a retiree or a person about to retire within the next couple years who still lives in the north. And they're not ready to move down. So let's let them put the reverse mortgage against their home in the north, use the proceeds of the reverse mortgage to buy the home here, and then when they retire, they'll sell off the home in the north, pay off that mortgage, and come here to a home that they own free and clear.
What other kind of twist have you seen seniors use to retire with this program?
One of the most creative people I had. They were feeling that they weren't going to retire for quite a few years yet, but they liked to snowbird here. So what we did was we put the reverse against the home in the north. They bought a smaller snowbird place, used it for several years as a snowbird, rented it when they weren't here. Then when they sold their home in the north, they still had lots of equity in the home in the north. They took that and came here and bought their permanent retirement home and twisted around the snowbird place and uses the rental income and had some additional retirement income from it. So not only did they have a temporary snowbird place for a couple years, they had a retirement income from the rental property down the road.
God, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Win-win-win. You get to sell them 2 houses, Mike.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do the floor up the house up there, but I can get something.
Yes.
Can a prospective buyer be pre-approved and ready to go on this?
Yes, definitely. We do pre-approvals, not pre-qualified, pre-approvals. And we can do that usually in 72 business hours by collecting some basic information and getting them pre-approval. And we can give you that letter and you can send them out shopping, and it's going to reassure their sellers that they're qualified and they're ready to buy.
Yeah, that's one of the issues that I always come up when the people want to buy. Get pre-approved first, and then we'll talk.
Exactly.
You got to know what you can
Exactly.
get how much money you can get.
Exactly.
Can you explain to me how reverse mortgages have changed over the last 10 years? At one point in time, they were the dregs of the universe.
They definitely were.
Now they're completely different.
You know, there's these people in this little place up there, somewhere around Maryland, Virginia, you know, that get their fingers in making all the laws and everything.
Yeah.
And they're not real knowledgeable of every subject that they think they are. So when they put together all the rules and regulations, it's taken them 30 years since the Reagan administration to finally get it pretty well straightened out. There used to be no regulation as to caps on interest rates. There used to be no protection for an underage spouse. It was just an open thing. It was too general. And all this has been ruled down now, that there's protection for the consumer, there's protection for the banks, there's protection for everybody. It's really worked out. Super program. And I urge everybody, sit down. When you come down here to look at a home, whether you're coming from Orlando or Pittsburgh, sit down with Mike. Mike and I will be glad to get together with you and talk about all the possibilities and the best way for you to do it. It just makes total sense once you hear how well it works.
Over the last couple of months, it's kind of weird we're talking about this, but over the last couple of weeks or months, I've seen a lot of articles come up in like Forbes and you know, some of the big business week, where people are actually doing this, and it's not such the bugaboo it was, you know, 10 years ago, and it's actually becoming mainstream, even in those, you know, I mean, Forbes does not usually print stuff like this on a favorable note.
No.
And now they're actually saying, okay, this is a pretty good thing for seniors.
Sure, it sure is. And there's programs outside of buying homes. I mean, a person that's in a home thinks maybe I got to sell this house because I can no longer afford it because I've got a $1,500, $2,000 a month mortgage payment. We can turn that around. That's the key to the reverse mortgage. You don't make a payment. All you have to do is keep up your taxes, insurance, and maintain the house.
And really, you could live in there. You know, if you're 60, what was it, 62?
60, 62.
62?
Either one.
So a question that I would have is that, okay, I'm 60, and my wife is 3 years younger than me. She's still not quite 60-ish. If I died, she can still live in the house.
Yes.
Until
yes.
she's dead or sells it or whatever.
Yes.
It's not like she's got to move out the next week.
No, she doesn't. She can live there for the rest of her life. She's listed on paperwork. That's one of the bugaboos that was worked out from the original law. And the thing that I kid about is once you're gone and she takes a boyfriend,
Yeah.
don't worry, Mike. When she goes, the boyfriend's got to get out of the house.
Okay.
Okay.
We have no long-lasting legacy.
No,
where he
no,
then
no.
brings in.
No,
Yeah. So, once that second person dies, assuming there's a couple,
Yes.
second person dies, what's the distribution of the house?
The house is still, the deed to title never leaves the owner's name. If there's still equity left, then the heirs can either pay off the loan or they can sell the house and take the equity. It's that simple.
Okay, so it used to be, if I remember right, it used to be when the second person died or when the person died, they had to sell the house and get rid of it, or the bank took it back, if I remember right. Wasn't that how it used to work?
You have 6 months initially as the heirs to the estate to do something about it.
Okay.
And if you don't get it sold within 6 months, you can usually get an extension for another 6 months. Now, if you haven't done anything within a year, then the bank's going to start to ask you, you know, it's time to move here. But you have a year to do something like that.
Okay, so nobody's pressed to do anything at any point in time.
No.
And if there's equity in the house, the kids still get it, or the heirs, whoever, still get it. It's not like it's gone.
No, it's still there.
I mean, that's the biggest bugaboo I see about it, or that I hear about it, is, well, we lose the assets in the house. Well, yeah, but you're affecting your lifestyle, the parents' lifestyle. They got to live in a house that they can't afford, so they get to move out to a rest home and live there for it doesn't work.
When I'm talking to children, I often say, would you rather have this house 30 years from now when mom and dad die with free of any mortgage and have to help them out paying their electric bill every month?
Yeah.
Or would you like mom and dad to be able to enjoy life and not have financial burdens and worries about it? I mean, it's their money, it's their equity. They sweat hard to earn that much money and pay that house to where it is.
And that's a difficult concept to explain to the children, that it's their money.
Yes. And it's tax-free. That's something else you got to understand.
The money coming out of it is tax-free?
Yes, the money coming out is tax-free. It's their money. It's their equity. So it's not the heirs, to the borrowers.
Right.
If the borrower's got $500,000 equity in a $1 million house and they take it out, it's their money. If they take $500,000 out of a 401, they got to pay taxes on that.
Sure. Oh,
So,
yeah.
The other thing I like to joke about is leave the 401 to the kids. Let them pay the taxes when you're gone, right?
That's a neat concept,
Yeah.
but yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. What else would you say in summary? I mean, anything you can think of?
I would say the best thing you could do is keep an open mind. Know that if you sell that home in the north and you come down here, almost a quarter of the retirees who move here, Mike, buy a larger home than they had. It's an interesting fact in my mind. So don't come here thinking that you have to get something smaller because you don't want to spend all the money from the home you're selling up there. And by all means, don't. Even if you sold the home in the north, or you sold your home here that you're moving into another retirement home, don't pay cash for it all. Just spend half the purchase price. Keep the other half. Maybe you want to buy that boat, or maybe you want to upsize and buy on the water. I mean, it's your money, it's your retirement. You might as well enjoy life.
Well, thanks, Bob. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
By the way, if this is your first visit to our channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button down at the bottom and the notification bell as well if you would like to be notified of my next video. Appreciate you listening. I'll talk to you later.